distinguished gentleman who represents my old stomping grounds when I was in college in DuPage County, the distinguished gentleman from Illinois, Mr. Caston, for his opening 2-minute remarks.
Thank you to Chair Connolly, or as we refer to him, the pride of the 6th District, for organizing this hearing and allowing me to participate. The Postal Service provides an absolutely critical function to this nation, especially in this moment, with seniors relying on the Postal Service for Social Security checks, folks for prescriptions, families right now for the child tax credit checks that are going out. And yet, for the last year in the 6th District of Illinois, the calls that have come in from my constituents have had a strong kind of Mark Antony vibe. They have not called to praise the Postal Service. We've received calls from members asking our office to help them figure out how to get out from under penalties that they are being charged for bills that are unpaid but they never received. We're getting calls from families asking how to get the economic impact payments that we structured to get them to help recover from COVID that they never received but were counting on for their finances. I got one call from a 64-year-old woman who had waited 3 weeks to get critical prescription drugs in a panic. We've gotten a whole lot of other calls from folks who have not received their medicines at all. I had one family who reached out because their birth certificate was lost in the mail as they were renewing their passport and was wondering how they are going to be able to identify themselves going over and if somebody else is going to use their identity. 1 call is a fluke, 2 is a coincidence, 3 is a pattern, and we've gotten a lot more than 3 calls. Now, the service degradations that we've seen just from that sample have not correlated with the weather. They've not correlated with periods of increased demand. And as you point out well, Mr. Chairman, they seem to be nationwide. This is a problem that's driven from the top, and I would submit to you that it's been deliberately imposed by Postmaster DeJoy to weaken and ultimately privatize the post office. He's more or less said so about as openly as you can. The OIG report details how DeJoy's efforts this past year and a half to close processing facilities, remove sorting machines, restrict carrier movements have strained our mail system from the top down, and of course the October 1st service standard reduction, which will slow down our mail system even more at a time when everything else in society is getting faster. I know that the post office is filled with dedicated, hardworking individuals who want to do a good job, but when there's a problem at the top, the buck has to stop at the top. I commend the letter carriers, the mail handlers for doubling down in spite of these operational challenges through rain, sleet, and snow. Our country relies on the U.S. Postal Service, and it's imperative we have a working system with a Postmaster General who actually believes in improving the system, not degrading it, especially in this moment when reliable, affordable mail is a necessity for millions. Thank you, and I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Caston.